What's up there, YouTube? Section 333 here. It is a brisk Saturday morning, I might add. Let's see what's going on today. I got woken up very early in the morning by my wife. She had gone to the gym and then she was going to go to work, and she called me from the gym to say that our next door neighbor had called her and that something was going on with his wife. So we went. Oh, I went over. She went over. He had called 911. She's fine. It was a syncopal episode, and she's probably dehydrated, needs some fluids, and yeah, it's one of the things they're always doing. As you get older, doctors are constantly adjusting your medications too. So I don't know all the medications that she's on, but they might have made an adjustment recently, and maybe she didn't do so well, or if they added something new. I don't know. I am smoking Seattle Pipe Club's Plum Pudding Bourbon Barrel Aged, which I don't know if I've done the review on this yet. If it's posted, I did do a review on it. It's not a replacement for a Frogmorton Cellar. If I was hoping it would be, of course. But it's, the upside is you have this really nice spicy Balkan blend that now has bourbon added to it, and that's pretty cool. But it's definitely not a replacement. Frogmorton Cellar to me was more of a crossover blend and more of a. It's definitely sweeter than this. Like you would sip bourbon, I feel like you would sip this. And I'm smoking it in my. I think this is the 2018 St. Patrick's Day pipe. Actually, it's easy to tell. 2018 St. Patrick's Day pipe. B10 shape. It's a spigot. This is a beautiful pipe, by the way. I know some people didn't really love this when it first came out, but I actually did. You got all the colors of the Irish flag in there. I lit it with this Peterson green lighter. It's not a St. Patrick's Day lighter, but it has all the shapes, or some of the shapes, on it. And that's kind of cool. And then I'm drinking my Valhalla Odin Force blend from Death Wish Coffee in my OMS mug with the 4-leaf clover on it. And that's green too, as you can see. I am not wearing any green, actually. I'm wearing a Black Sabbath t-shirt. And as you know, I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan. And the reason I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan is because they are the greatest band in the world. Ever. That's really not up for debate. I know there's like, oh, Zeppelin. No. It's Black Sabbath. How many bands sound like Zeppelin today? Zeppelin cover bands sound like Zeppelin today. How many bands openly admit the influence of the great and mighty Black Sabbath? Right? Everyone. Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana, Soundgarden. All the great bands were influenced by Black Sabbath. They invented metal. They invented goth. Come on, man. Yeah. Slayer, Pantera, all influenced by the mighty Black Sabbath. So it's really not open for debate. I know there's people out here who want to, but it's Sabbath. No, I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan. I like other bands too. I'm actually, oddly enough, I'm not a huge Zeppelin fan, but that's because I'm in Long Island, New York, and for some reason they play a lot of Zeppelin on the radio when I was growing up, and I got tired of it. They were good songs. You know, they were good. But if you hear them all the time, you just get tired of them. But that never happened with Sabbath. But yes, it's cold out. That's why I'm wearing the hat. And these are very warm, by the way. Very, very warm. Highly recommend everybody gets one. So, all that green, though, I digress. So, green, green, and green. And what I want to do now is I want to talk to you guys about the pipe that's in this box here. And in this box, as you see, it's the St. Patrick's Day Fishtail 606 from the year 2020. It's bag. Pipes in the bag. Pipe lawyer style. There we go. So it's another spigot type pipe. Is this a spigot or is this actually like a military? I'm not sure, but I went for this straight billiard style. The bowl shape is a pot. I think last year I got a Dublin, which was nice. Nice draw. Now, I do want to say something. Peterson was sold as a company. So there have been some changes. In the past, these bags, this is almost like a paper type thing. And it's not, but it's definitely, I don't feel this is as high a quality as I've gotten in the past from them. It's got a very weird feel. It sounds noisy, you know, whereas the others seemed like more of a felt type of deal. So I don't know if that's a change. If anyone else has ever gotten a Peterson pipe recently and noticed any change in something like that, let me know, please. So this is, like I said, the 2018. This was a great pipe as well. Now here, let's see what we're looking at here. Let's see if we can get that to focus. No? Carbonized bowl. Now, I don't know if it's coming across in camera, but there are like black streaks through it as well. It's a very brilliant green, very bright green. It's stamped on the bottom here. I don't know if that's going to come across. You can only focus so much, I guess, right? So it's stamped on the bottom here. I like it. I don't love it, though. That's the thing. See, I used to like how they put, see how Peterson is on here in the nice script? You can see the word Peterson. And they still put it here, but now it's K and P for Cop and Peterson, and then they put the little Peterson there. Yeah, it's not in the script. It's nice. It's just not as nice as they have been in the past. I feel like they were nicer pipes in the past. That's just me. And they don't always have to be green. I have a brown one that I love. I think it's a 2015. Absolutely adore that pipe. And that was the tankard, I believe. But this is a great pipe. It's a great looking pipe, I should say. Now, if you don't like this rusticated look, or this, I'm not sure if this is rusticated or sandblasted. See, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like they're kind of skimping a little bit here. It would have been cool if anyone from Peterson ever sees this video. Maybe do a Dracula version of this of a Peterson pipe, of the St. Patrick's Day pipe, whereas you do a green and black swirled bowl, right? But big swirls, not the little fine swirls. And then you do this like you do the stems for the Dracula pipes. Maybe do a green and black stem as well. Maybe make the stem mostly green and then put the black smoke through it. Or, you really want to get fancy, maybe do the orange smoke through it. That'd be very interesting, I think. So like orange swirls, so to represent the flag of Ireland. Like this one kind of represents all the colors of the Irish flag. You have the silver for the white, you have the green, and you have the orange stem. Dog's going a little crazy here. What the shit's with that? Pardon my French. She gets aggressive with other dogs, otherwise I'd let her out to play. She's very small, and I don't think she realizes that the smaller dogs This is a really good tobacco. So, like I said, you have, this is a beautiful color. I mean, the sunlight is really bringing out the green in it right now. It's the one saving grace, as cold as it is outside. It's like, whew. What is this? 30, the thermometer says 31 right now. So it's cold. It's a little below freezing out here right now. Last night, oh boy, was it cold last night. It said it felt like 4 degrees, and it did. Fahrenheit. That's all Fahrenheit we're discussing here. So it is nice though. I actually quite like it. I don't know if I love it though. Which is odd, because usually I love the St. Patrick's Day pipes and really look forward to it. The draw is good. What it is? I hope they just didn't take a black pipe and let's dip it in some green paint and we'll call it a St. Patrick's Day pipe this year. I hope that's not what they've done. And I don't know who bought Peterson, who purchased it. But, when you purchase something with a legacy, you want to try and continue to keep that legacy. If you own Gibson guitars, if that's your guitar company, you have a legacy. You want to make sure that the guitars are still fresh and the quality is perfect, and that the designs are fresh and new, and the traditional ones that you bring out, you want to make sure that though they continue that legacy of history and good quality, things like that. It's one of those things. So I get off track and stuff when I'm telling stories and things like that. So I was telling you about my neighbor this morning. His wife wasn't feeling well. They're an elderly couple. He's like 96, And I think she's 3 weeks away from her either 93rd or 94th birthday. I think 93. And so I know they did take her to the hospital that both my wife and I work at. So my wife went with them to the hospital because she was going in this morning. I stayed back till, for his daughter's coming to pick him up, and she's going to take him in. I'm going to go get my mom, actually. She spends weekends with us, and during the week she's with my sister. And as you get older, the people around you get older too, and you still gotta manage them as well. But I look at it like this. Your parents do all this work for you as you're growing up, and now you're doing it. Now you're doing it for them as you get older. The only thing is it's very frustrating for them because they've been doing it for 80 plus, 90 plus years. So they have an idea of how they want their life to be. And it's tough to relinquish control at that stage, in that age, But, they realize that you're there to help them, I'm actually glad we're here for our neighbors and that we're in a position we can help them, my wife and I. And I'm glad they feel comfortable calling us when they have issues. Makes me feel like we're doing the right thing as neighbors. It's so funny. For years, you can live next door to people and never actually speak to or know your neighbors. And there's so many people who don't these days because we live in this world where we think we're so connected to everything, but we're not really. We're really not as connected as we were years ago. I think the technology doesn't really bring people together. If anything, I feel like technology pushes people apart in many respects. Yes, I can Skype when my daughters were doing their semesters abroad and they're in other countries. I could see the kids regularly. We could watch our favorite television shows together on a Saturday night, things like that. But it doesn't make up for the time spent in a room with the person, I think with the technology and everything, oh, well, I'm talking to my daughter, I'm doing this, we're Skyping, whereas you could get in the car and go see them, or you could walk next door and say hi to your neighbor because you didn't have that. Well, you could, reach out, electronically years ago. So people would walk a mile down the street to see their neighbor and things like that, or they would make that every Sunday trip you'd spend with your family. And when I was a youngster, we actually used to do that every Sunday. We would spend Sundays with our families. It's just how it was, So, there's my preaching for the day. So I preached to you about Black Sabbath. I preached to you about being a good neighbor and talking to people. And I've shown you a beautiful pipe. There's really not much else at this stage of the game, right? Oh, and we talked about how plum pudding bourbon barrel is not a replacement for the Frogmorton cellar. And it is not. No, they're two very different tobaccos. Both excellent in their own regards, of course. Yeah, so I called ahead to the hospital to so the ER knew she was coming. My neighbor's wife, and she's doing all right. She was doing fine when we brought her downstairs. She just syncopized and had a little. She's either dehydrated or she has some kind of cardiac issue or something. And dehydration can cause cardiac issues, for the temporary. And then when you rehydrate, it can go away. So you might have some ectopy, thready pulses, things like that when you're dehydrated. If somebody ever passes out, the best thing to do is protect the head, put them on the floor. If they seize, turn them on their left side, please. And that's just so they don't aspirate. You don't want the expectorant to go into their lungs, because then you got a whole aspiration pneumonia thing you're going to be dealing with. And that could be bad too. Life goes on, all right, and you got a little medical lesson there. That's the deal. Yeah. Little doggy. Yeah. I've been spending a lot of time with her too, with my little dog here, because she's 8 years old now. And dogs don't live forever. My sister-in-law and my brother-in-law actually put theirs both down the same day. And so right now she's kind of, well, now we're down to 2 dogs in the family. We had 4. My oldest daughter, she has a golden labradoodle. No, an Australian labradoodle. Yeah, that's what it is. It's an Australian labradoodle. And she's a schnoodle. He's a good-sized dog. He's about like 20, 25 pounds, maybe 30 even now. And she is all of 15 pounds. So she gives him hell. Don't you? You do, don't you? Yes, you do. And I know I've said it before. It's funny as heck because I did not want her. But I love her. I actually love this little dog. I really do. I take her everywhere I go. I've become like that guy Jay on Modern Family. Not a show I watch regularly, but I heard from my wife that he is very into the dog that he did not want, and he thinks the dog is just awesome, and I think she's just awesome too. And if you ever do get I highly recommend you try this plum pudding with the bourbon barrel. I really do. It's not cheap. It's actually expensive, I think, but honest to God truth is, Seattle Pipe Club blends, the 2 most popular ones are Mississippi River and Plum Pudding. They're not cheap compared to their others. But I like most of their blends, in all honesty. I've never had an issue with any of their blends. This is very good stuff. So, I'm going to head out. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done today. I got to pick my mom up. I got work to do as well. I got to do evaluations and all of that jazz for my staff. It's going to be a busy day. And, all right. And I got to get to the gym myself, too. All right. Section 333 signing out. 2020. This is the St. Patrick's Day pipe this year for them. Yes, I like it. Don't know that I love it. And I have to let you know how it smokes. All right, I'll probably smoke it on St. Patrick's Day, if not before. All right. Always, thank you so much for watching these videos. And I know I'm not doing them as frequently as I used to, but I've been so busy at work. But I do appreciate everybody who watches them and tunes in. And you know, I love the YouTube pipe community. It's the best community on YouTube, in my opinion. Not that my opinion matters. Unless, of course, it's about Black Sabbath, then my opinion matters. Section 333, signing out, everybody. Have a good weekend.